that course because that professor. Do you profile for professors? Can you speak to this?
I did profile one time when she was a white older woman, and I just felt like she might be more lenient, or she was just like, oh, okay, sweetie. So I felt like she would be easier. So I was like, okay. It turns out actually that she actually is kind of like that, and she's just very like, we'll kind of baby you and push you along, and it kind of the stereotype that I had personally. So sometimes people get stereotyped.
The students get away with it all the time. It's published online.
We need it. I know, like, especially like when I'm a freshman and I had all these mentors trying to help me out, I would get suggestions of which teachers to take and which ones not to. And it kind of like, I guess it goes both ways because like, as students we get profiled, but then we also profile teachers because I had friends that take class and they'd be like, well, don't take her and she was too hard, or blah, 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 or the grading system was awful and blah, 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 blah. But I also get mentors or friends that say, take this teacher, she's really great, she's one of the favorites around campus, stuff like that. So I guess it just goes both ways.
You have to realize, faculty are people too. We're just people with degrees and have been here for a long time maybe. So if you are a student athlete or have special needs, be sure to communicate that because we're just going along, doing our syllabi and preparing our lectures and doing all the other crazy stuff that we have to do. So you're not the top of our list in terms of just your individual needs. You're going to have to communicate that to us so that we can then work around your schedule. Does that make sense? I mean, I can't read mine. So when I get a note from a student, oh, I'm going to be going on Thursday. Well, that's the test day. I didn't know he was going. So now what am I supposed to do? I don't give makeup tests, for example. So if you communicate at the very beginning of class, then I can make arrangements or make adjustments so that I can be ready to deal with whatever issue you're going through. Does that make sense? I mean, I just can't just read mine. I wish I could, but I can't.
Not here, but when I was at the University of Missouri, I took teachers my track schedule and everything and talked to them about it, and still they were unacceptable.
Because we're unorganized.
I got like an illness that'll be with me for the rest of my life, and I get really sick, and it will cause me to miss class, but I feel like I'm a dedicated student, so I always tell my teachers I can provide them whatever medical documentation they need so that they know I'm not just making stories up. But one class that I just can't seem to get through because I never make it is English. And it's like no matter what, they won't adjust their policy. So I'll tell my teachers in advance and I can provide them with whatever they need, but a lot of my teachers won't change their policies or work with me. And it's like I can't make that not happen. I don't know when I'm going to happen.
Is there any way you can test out of it?
Test
out of 102.
I don't know.
It's a basic course. I mean, can you test out of it?
Have you tried to work through disability office?
No, because I don't consider myself disabled.
No.
Please note that a disability don't have to be something that you miss, and it can be something mentally, physically, or you can just have an ailment. You can have cancer. That's a disability.
And there are people there whose job and who are trained to know how to engage some of these issues in the university even.
And they may look at you and say, man, she's looking healthy when she come in here, so, and they may not pick it up and say that you are ill. So sometimes I always say a closed mouth don't get fed. You got to let somebody know something, and then that way when they try to get in your face about not finishing English, we go right over to disability service and they hand us a document that says, oops, she is ill. And then we have to accommodate you. If not, we're in trouble. So let's meet up next week and try to get this resolved by English 102.
You tell disability services, they know, all you have to say is I'm registered, the rest is none of your business. That is my privacy.
That's right.
You catch an attitude. The person that's stroking you with that pencil and pen, it can make your life a living hell. Let me be real straight with you. Now what you need to do is come in and act like you got some sense and say, look, I'm registered with disability service. Could you please contact them?
Yes.
I by all means will say, Valencia, yes, I will contact them. Thank you for letting me know. Yes. But if you come up in and talk about you got to do this, you got to do that, that's going to make me flip my wig over and I'm going to start saying some things to you to say, and I'm serious. I'm going to start saying some things that's unkind. You get more with honey than you do with vinegar. And that's what a lot of students, when we start profiling, you best to watch yourself, because you don't have to, we got degrees. You trying to get one. Let me get that straight. But the second piece of that is, if you let people know what's going on, I've been very lenient. It's been a lot of students that have been going to jail a couple of days. I go down there and drop their work off for them. I want them to finish. And I bet I'm the only one on this campus that will go down to the county and be on somebody's list and hand them a packet. Because I want them to finish. I mean, it's all the individuality of the student. It really is. And I mean, when I hear people say some things about this, that, and the third, yeah, you pay the bills here, you do this, that, and another, but trust us, you act like we have to bend over backwards to provide for you. You got to meet me halfway. That note from your doctor, it says a lot. I don't need to know what your illness is, but disability service don't know what it is. So when I call them, Ms. Burt's going to tell me, yes, she's registered. I can't do anything else from that point but say, okay, I'm going to give you 2 extra hours to get your exam done. I'm going to give you this right here to get it finished, get it back to me. But then if you don't get it back to me, then do I go back to disability service and say, Ms. Burt, she ain't turned nothing in. What you want me to do?
Sorry for you.
She going to say, sorry for you. And Ms. Burt has said, sorry for you. And we do these things. Yes. So, I mean, if anything is going on with you, please let the people know. Yes. I mean, that's my biggest thing. You don't have to tell us what's wrong with you. No. But please tell somebody, because we can't read your mind. I think you coming in there acting all like you don't want to be concerned about the class. You could be up there with sleep apnea. And I'm thinking, oh, they just sleeping in my class because I'm going. You know what I mean? And then I'm all, you know me, I go over the edge. I go over the edge a little bit. I'm trying to work on that. But I go over the edge because my goal is to make everybody a good student. And that's what I'm going to do if I have to die trying. Here's Dr. Lewis, Mom. I'm done.
I let my professor know I'm a music major, and I let him know that I had been traveling back and forth to Oklahoma like every week, because I had to sing at funeral after funeral after funeral. And I let him know that my uncle's funeral will be on the same day as our dress rehearsal. And I had three people die in my family, and he still was like, you know, I don't know how that's going to work, because I'm going to have to dock you like 5 missed absences. And so he knows that after 5 missed absences, that bring my grade down, a letter grade. I've never missed his class. You know, I'm always cool. But I just didn't know how to handle that when I let him know that, you know, this wasn't just me trying to miss his class, and he should know that because I'm a faithful student.
You've talked to him about the next step. You write it in writing. And whatever you do, students, put it in writing. That way it is a documentation. When the chair won't help you, you go to the dean. When the dean won't help you, you head to the provost. When the provost don't help you, you go to the president. There is a policy and procedure that you follow. But trust me, in our college, it don't get past my door. Because I'm going to stop it right there, and we're going to bring everybody involved with it, and we're going to sit at the round table and have a real good discussion. Oh, yeah. And the bottom line is this. I'm going to advocate for you, because it's not your responsibility or your problem that you had 3 deaths. You know, it had to happen. And it did, but it was...
One of the things that Dr. Marche touched on right now is that she would be your advocate. And one of the things that I would encourage everybody to do is that if you do not have a person on campus that you can turn to who will be your advocate, who will be your voice, who will be the person to help take things to the next level, to address issues that maybe you're not comfortable with, or maybe you just need somebody else to help clarify what the policies are or what the procedures are, please feel free to reach out to individuals. Example, the Office of Multicultural Affairs is an excellent resource to deal with a lot of the issues that are discussed here. We do a lot in working with students in identifying cross-cultural communications, not only amongst peer groups, but as well as with student to faculty and faculty to administration. Please don't hesitate to let us know, as well as the faculty who are here today. Thank you to our panelists who were here today, Dr. Okafor, Dr. Clothing Randall, and Dr. Lewis Moss. They did a fantastic job.